Okay, he'll cut it out. It's all right. It's going. You're
Yep,
rolling.
we're good.
Okay, now we just pause and smile.
He's not going to keep that in.
He's gonna keep it in. She snorted. I love it. I love Flosstube. Hello, Flosstube. We are coming at you live, kind of live, pre-recorded at Brick City Cross Stitch. Hi, I'm Chrissy, finally a farm girl.
And I'm Linda, Stitchy Linda.
And I'm Peter. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, for Pete's
Really
sake.
Again?
need to change that.
Really?
He agreed to do this again. We are at Brick City Cross Stitch in Ocala, Florida. This is all of our LNS, and I know you've got a couple, but this is the hub. This is where we met. This is where we come to get our fix, our fill, our therapy, shopping therapy, that is, our friendships, and I just wanted to take Flosstube on the road today to celebrate 25 years of cross stitch through Brick City. So at the beginning, you'll notice I did a video sharing some of the older pictures when the shop was originally opened, which I believe was when, Jean?
November 7th, 1997.
November 7th, 1997.
Yep.
Wow. I think that it is a huge accomplishment. And when we all kind of found out several months ago that she would be hitting 25 years in this industry, the three of us kind of got together, scammed on a gift idea, and then it kind of just went from there. And I wanted to take 2 seconds to say that the shop owner's name is Jean, Miss Jean. She will pop in here shortly, and which I know many of you know her. So hopefully if you do come to this shop, you might have seen your picture, and if not, you would be inspired to come visit and make sure that if you're ever traveling, it would be on your stop list. So I wanted to go ahead and, what did we want to start with first? I'm the one that came up with it.
The anniversary piece.
The anniversary piece.
The anniversary piece.
Good. We're just going to roll with this like we always do. I kind of had an idea, but okay, Peter's here to keep us on track.
Yeah, Peter will keep us in line.
So one night, this is kind of how these ideas seem to come to me. I thought to myself, maybe as a gift, because what do you give somebody who lives the cross-stitch world? You know, what do you give them for 25 years of giving to their community, giving to the stitchers, etc. So I made a little design and kept working with it, and then I got my approval from Miss Linda here. We worked with colors. Peter was on board. We slipped him a pattern, I don't know, a few months ago.
Yeah.
I think at one of our Sunday stitch-ins. He secretly, behind and working around Jean, he did his conversion.
That was funny because you gave me the pattern
Yep.
under the table.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, I've got to go get my fabric and my flosses.
Yeah.
And Jean comes over. She's like, oh, what are you working on? And it's like, oh no.
And
no,
of course-
it's this other design.
And of
I
course,
need a red.
Peter's trying to change the colors all
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah. I'm like, and the deal is my idea, and there's like, we would all do something different. We would all finish it in our fashion. Peter's maybe a higher count fashion. He does conversion. For me, it was going to be 28 or 32, and Linda is the queen of 1/1, I think. Well, you did 1/1 too,
Yeah.
just on the.
But mine's on 25, and of
Right.
course his is probably on 56. I don't
No.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead, Linda. Show
Okay.
her yours.
Well,
Or-
mine, it is 25 count, 1/1.
Let me see if we can get it.
And Stacy here at the shop, she finished it for me, and she finished it on a box. And what our thought is to give them to Jean in like different sizes and different ways they could be finished. So that's mine.
And now the colors you ended up using, did you just?
I picked some of Peter's colors. I think I used Peter's colors for the words.
Okay.
And I used his colors for the flag, and then I just picked colors, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we kind of all did that.
Yeah.
Yours, I love
wanna do yours
your
now?
house. Yeah, sure. And I was going to do it on 32, but I ended up grabbing a piece that I liked, and I think it ended up being like Heartland 28 count.
Yeah,
So
and-
mine will be the biggest.
And the original pattern included
Yes.
Ocala, Florida.
Right.
And
I-
Linda and I did not include Ocala just so that way it would be smaller.
Yeah.
And then I did mine as a little fob. So this is 28 count mushroom using a lot of the same color. I just may have changed the hue. I also stitched in that mouse because I hate mice. And so we've had this pattern so long that you didn't even have Jeremiah yet.
No.
No.
So I couldn't even
Yeah,
put in
you
a
couldn't
little
even
Jeremiah.
change it to a frog.
So I've got it on a lobster claw, so that way she can use it as a bag tag or a scissor fob. And then I used an online alphabet to put "Congratulations, Jean" on the back.
Now, did you finish it yourself?
I finished it last night. Yeah.
There's a long story with this being finished.
Well, so it's one of those things that I finished stitching this July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were first.
Yeah, and I had it like a week after I was done first.
Right.
And I put I'm still picking glue off the edges because I glued it last night. So,
I like
but
your,
it is
his
fun.
house the best.
I know.
Not
Yeah.
that it's a house, but it's supposed to be the shop.
The shop.
But I like your design of the shop with the green shutters and
Yeah, so
I like
the
that.
front of the shop has green on it, so that's why I used green
yeah,
instead.
I like that. I like
So-
that. But anyway, so then to take it one step further, in order to gift the pattern to Jean, which was what we did. So we all put them together. They were given to Jean, and we did it a little bit early so that she could decide what she wanted to do with the pattern. She has the rights to the pattern. I brought it up with a few copies, and she has decided she has a trying to think of-
Nonprofit.
Thank you, a
Organization.
nonprofit. I was thinking of that one. Nonprofit organization that she consistently has given to throughout the year. So she will sell the pattern, and then all the money, all the proceeds will go to that
This
organization.
interfaith in Ocala.
Interfaith,
Great
okay.
organization. yes.
So, and usually, what is it like the soda money or what? I
Yeah,
know that
we
it's a
have
constant
retreats.
thing.
We have what we call a pig, and anyway, the pig gets fed during the retreat, and any money that the pig gets fed, it goes to Interfaith at the end. We have a lot of people that walk in and put
That's
money in the
cute.
pig ahead of time. Just so
Yeah.
they know that. Anyway, yeah. So and then she keeps it here at the shop, and then as people come in and we sit and stitch, we donate to the pig. I mean, it's a great organization.
Right.
Yes.
And local.
And
which I
local.
think
Local
I think
Ocala.
that's one of the key things I think I want to just keep in is, you support your local needle shop. It's just local, and I like that she gives back to the community in that way. So then I think we were going to go ahead and, do you want to do the FOs before we want to go ahead? All right.
The FO. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Jean's next.
Okay.
Do this.
Jean.
And
So
then,
while
yeah.
Jean comes over, I'm
Yes,
just going to
do.
quickly
Yeah.
show you. So this is my casting a spell. 2 weeks ago, I was missing this upper box, so that's my finished casting a spell. Yeah, so it's just Christmas colors. There was a question about the alphabet that I used for Christmas. The C was from, they include the entire alphabet, so that way you can put your own initial up here, so I used the C from that. And then everything else is just a combination of Halloween. So like the H is the L and the N from Halloween. Yeah. So that's casting a spell with Christmas. And I forget who made the comment, but somebody was happy to hear about the adventures of Moose and Squirrel. Only one person realized that was a comment about Bullwinkle and Rocky. So I forgot to write down her name, but thanks for catching that Moose and Squirrel reference. So, all right,
Love
that's
that.
my finish.
Okay.
And I don't have any FFOs because I'm still working on water. On Live on Little.
On Live on Little.
Okay,
We've got
and this is our
It's
leader.
Jean.
This is Jean, and this is
This worked out
actually
really well.
this is Jean, and our last sal that we have sals at Brick City quite often, and the last one that we had was a Tisket a Tasket, and this is Jean's version of Tisket a Tasket, and it's on 36 count
Silver Moon.
Silver Moon. Okay, I knew I
It's
wouldn't
so
remember,
pretty.
but it's a Rosewood Manor, and she's almost
I was
done
going to
with
say,
it. She
I
is
really
almost
cannot
done with it.
believe with the amount of stitching
Yeah,
time because she got it started and then you get interrupted so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
I know. I usually
can't
don't
believe it.
participate in sales because I don't really ever keep up. So, but I am gonna
I
participate
mean, you're
in the
gonna
next one also
you're gonna
because it's
have
small.
you're gonna have a finish this year.
Yeah, she
Yes.
is.
So
Oh.
I just want to ask you two questions since you're
Okay.
the shop owner and this is
Yes.
a celebrating. Oh, but when did you first start cross stitching?
About 50 years ago. In the 1970s, so yes, about 50
and
years ago.
who taught you?
Me.
You taught
My
yourself.
mom didn't
Very
cross
good.
stitch. She
Okay.
was a crocheter,
Okay.
Oh.
but she was a big part of my shop.
Yeah.
You know, while she lived with me.
Yeah.
So she was here almost every day that I was here.
Right.
But I was self-taught, so sometimes, people come in and say, oh, well, I don't know how to do this because I taught myself. And I'm like, well, that's where most of us are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're all self-taught,
And what made you decide that this was something you were going to do? Buy or open a cross stitch store?
I'm actually a retired social worker, and that's why I give to Interfaith because they helped all my clients.
Okay.
But there was a shop in Ocala, and it closed 4 years before I opened my shop.
Oh, wow.
And I got tired of driving to Gainesville to go to the closest shop.
I love it.
The owner there said, "Oh, you could open a shop." And I was working for a home care agency, and a nurse and I decided, "Why not?"
And
wow.
that the rest
And
was
that-
history.
The rest is
huh?
history, yes. And she left the business about 3 years into it. So I worked full-time and had people helping me keep it open, which I am so grateful for, and y'all should be too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because I only
Definitely.
retired from my first full-time job 5 years ago.
Right.
So for like 17 years, I had people working the shop for me and keeping it open, and they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. Can't do it by yourself, can
Nope,
you?
nope, and I am very appreciative of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's I think that's always my big thing is like just wanting to know the journey.
Mhm.
People come in new and they don't have a clue where it all came from.
Right. Yeah.
But hey,
Okay.
I just like this. Look at this. I got the Vanna thing
Just
going.
like
I can't believe you're gonna have a finish this year. I really think
this
you
month.
will.
Yeah.
This month.
Yep.
I had hoped to have it today, but didn't happen.
Oh man, that is
Well, you have a little bit
so
going on.
close. All right. Well, are we to the portion? Oh, thank you. Are we to the portion of our broadcast
Sure.
where we can? Okay. I thought it would be interesting because we have three not very different stitchers, but at different phases of we just had you on last week. It was interesting because when you see your stitching, you just think you live, eat, breathe. You've been doing it forever, and your pieces are gorgeous. And I can't thank you enough for all the comments that were just like.
I thank you to Chrissy.
So cool.
And thank you to everyone who commented on
That
the
was
video.
so
It was
cool.
so cool. Somebody mentioned the Sunday stitches and how I can finish them. And so that's going to be my big push next year is finishing my Sunday stitches
Yeah.
in that recommended way. It's going to be awesome.
It's funny
So-
how our friends and then the Flosstube, how people comment and you're like, yeah, I want to get back on that. And you're
Yeah.
doing the no new November.
No new November.
No new November.
Yep.
And once I'm done with this one, then I'm all in.
New November.
I did
this
have a lot of finishes since I think the last time we got together because last weekend I did not do Flosstube and it was Livia's birthday. But I have finished models. I finished my garden witch sale, birthday sale that I did. So I'm feeling a lot better about where I stand with a lot of stuff. Still got way more whips, but I thought it would be good with the difference to kind of share what Brick City Cross Stitch means to us. And I thought I'd go in a particular order for a particular reason. So I'll start with myself, and I think that for me, I think the biggest thing is it's not to focus on the negative portion of maybe, the loss of my mom, but to focus on the positive of what this craft can do and what a store like this can do. I am sure during 2020, it probably crossed a lot of, brick and mortar shops, and a lot of them did to call it quits. That's a lot to ask of these shops. Yeah. But to go through that and to go through, with my mom, I can remember the kids being young and her saying, hey, there's this shop up in Ocala and she does once a month, Sundays, you just go and stitch. You want to do it with me. And she would force me, and not force me, but push me to leave the kids, leave the toddlers, and get away. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we're going to drive an hour. And it ended up being so nice. And I really do remember her sitting right across, because we walked in and we didn't look like we belonged. I think that's another thing with this community, with these retreats and these stitch-ins. Just do it. Just go.
Yeah.
These are great people. They could care less if they're new. They're not going to attack you. And it just was so nice because, I kind of really remember that first time I came, we had a great time and we had lunch. So that was years ago. And then I think she kept going off and on when she would travel. And it wasn't until, we both were kind of in Leesburg that we decided we were going to up and do this. And then we got really heavy into cross stitch again because of the whole pandemic type deal. And I had found Flosstube. I had found it heavily. And then I showed it to my mom. So, taking the fact that I lost her right after that, I am incredibly thankful for this shop and having a place that I could go, whether it was to just come in and say hi, to purchase floss, to just know that I had friends there, and that a lot of them had been in my shoes. And they knew that this thing here that we call, stitching or cross stitch, whatever your craft is going to be the thing that can carry you through a lot of trials in your life. So again, not to talk about the negative, I'm talking about the positive of it, and what you can do with your time. And I knew that it might be a little hard to step back in these doors, but at the same time, I am so glad I did, and I find myself here way more than I ever thought I would now.
Yeah.
But I cannot thank Jean enough, and everybody here for when you pop in the door, and it's almost like, and I know this is dating myself, but it's almost like going to Cheers, the old show
Everybody knows your
Cheers.
name.
That is
Yep.
what this feels like here. And if Jean did not have this physical shop, it would be, to me, I feel like there would be such a loss to, and people drive from all over, and we're seeing it all the time. And it's
lots
just
of travelers.
I just love it.
visitors.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So to me, it's my home away from home. And yeah, Cheers would be the best way for me to, minus the beer. Your turn.
So it's interesting that you mentioned Cheers, because that was going to be my reference as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
it will be, because what's most important to me is the community. It's the friendships that in just the 2 years that I've been coming, I've cultivated, and it's just amazing how almost any time I come in, there are stitchers sitting around the tables. In the center of the store are tables for people to sit around and stitch. And, stitching is the center of our community, where the tables are. And
Yeah.
so for me, that's what's important. Linda and Chrissy have both mentioned how often I do conversions. I don't do them myself. I get a lot of input. There are multiple times where I lay out 3 to 4 options,
Right.
and I get input from everybody. So I'm just good at listening to the people who have more experience around me. So and it's interesting that the first person you met was Linda, because
Yeah.
the first person I met too was Linda.
Man,
And
you're
so-
here a lot.
I guess I'm here a lot.
and so it's just one of my favorite memories, just because it's one of the earliest of Brick City. Is I laid out my fabric and I was trying to choose between 2 different types of blue, and it was Jean and it was Linda who helped me,
Yeah.
and Jean especially continues to help me, and I'm always thankful for that.
Yeah.
So
We're all grateful.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, girl.
Gosh, I guess I go back the longest. I'm
7 years.
yeah, probably as long as Jean.
Jean just said she's been here for years.
Gosh, I've always had an LNS, and down south, when we lived down south, I was good friends with the L&S owners down south. And my husband and I bought property up here in the early 90s, and we knew that one day we'd retire up here. And it's really funny because one of the first things I did was look to see if there was a cross-stitch store in Ocala, because I couldn't imagine not having an L&S since I'd always had one. Luckily enough, there was. And we moved up here in 99, and Jean would have been open a few years. I had been up off and on before, but in 99 we moved up. I was still working full time, so I didn't spend as much time in the shop, and she was in a different location at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was in a different location at that time. She was over in. She was.
Oh, okay. I
yeah,
haven't looked at the pictures yet, so.
She was over in Chelsea Square, which is a little bit further down the road on Silver Springs Boulevard. And I remember walking in, and at that time there was a group of people sitting and stitching. And believe it or not, I felt a little intimidated as much as I felt a little intimidated because I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And I came back a few times to stitch, but I was still working full time, so I wasn't here as much and I wasn't as involved. And 2015 rolls around and I hear that Jean has retreats. And I thought, oh, because I had been to retreats before. I'd been to Sally up in Gainesville, had 2 retreats a year, and I used to go to those. I thought, oh, cool, retreats. So me still not knowing a lot of people, I invited all my friends from South Florida and several friends from Georgia and one from North Carolina to come for my first retreat so I wouldn't feel alone. Well, needless to
Just
say,
say idea right there to everybody.
After that, I don't think I've missed a retreat since. I've met wonderful people. I mean, and now I really enjoy meeting people. I love to see them walk in and I went, where are you from? You know, and it's really a lot of fun because it's like you said, it's a community. We all have one common interest. Well, after 2015, you know, Facebook's been around and I was kind of involved in Facebook, and Jean had a group called Brick City Stitchers, and you know, she's running this place practically by herself with help from others, and so I kind of said, well, I can help. So I kind of took over as administrator in our Facebook group of Brick City Stitchers, and then we decided, Jean and I decided that as she goes to market or she goes to Expo, maybe we should be posting all of the new stuff on Brick City Stitchers, so that kind of started. And right now, we're up to like 1,600 members of Brick City Stitchers.
Wow.
So it's become really, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of work at times, but I enjoy it. And I love meeting new people. And what I really love is I know the names from Facebook, but I love it when they walk in the door and they say, I'm so-and-so, and I go, oh, I know who you are. Yeah. And I know what you bought.
Oh, no.
So, and Jean, of course, we've become very close friends. So it's just, yeah, it's been a real, and my husband, I mean, he calls it my second home because I am here at least a couple times a week. So.
Plus you got a bed in the back.
Yeah.
A pull-out cot.
Yeah. I threatened to pull the RV up back.
Okay.
A stitchy chair.
Yeah.
Hey, Jean, just talking. We'd love to have a little stitchy chair back there.
No way.
She don't want us to
we've
stay
kind of
that
asked
long.
her before, maybe we could bring recliners in. No, that doesn't
She's
work.
like, you'll
No,
never
no.
leave.
Yeah.
Never leave.
A
Yep.
Murphy bed.
A Murphy bed, yeah.
Are you,
Talk
All
about
right.
the, okay, so
All right.
the next thing I guess we want to talk about is in the Brick City Stitchers, we do have stitch-alongs, SALs, start-alongs, what was your acronym for?
yeah,
Randy had an acronym for it.
Yes, he had a good one.
But anyway,
I'll have to think
we've,
about
over
it.
the last couple of years, we've had quite a few SALs. Some are big, some have been small. Tisket Tasket that Jean showed was our most recent one. That was a big one. And Jean and I thought, well, we need to have another one, but it needs to be kind of smaller so that, you know, maybe, and it needs to be new. So what we're going to be doing is, do you have your pen?
Yeah.
Patterns there.
Yeah.
Is, we have a SAL starting on the 12th, Plum Street Samplers,
I thought you said the 15th.
the 12th.
Oh, man, now I'm down 3 days.
Starts on the 12th. And we've had actually about 40 some people, I think, sign up for the pattern and get all their supplies. Jean, I know, got about 55 of them in, but anyway, we've got them in. We're getting our material. Chrissy and I
Yep.
both got the same fabric. We're going to do 32 count water lily. with, here's some of the fibers. And Chrissy and I are both doing the lighter version of the pattern. There's 2 versions on this pattern.
I kind of think it's the bright, yeah, it's the lighter,
the lighter.
more vibrant red.
So the bigger picture,
This one,
Yeah,
I guess
the-
the main one.
the bigger picture is the lighter version.
Yeah.
The darker version is the one up in the corner. And so some
So you can
people
see
are
the two up-
doing, yeah,
two
some
up
people,
there.
some people are doing the darker version, and then some people are doing the lighter version. So we've got that, and I got my project bag from Cricklewood Crossing.
I am not
She does,
prepared
Jennifer
like that.
does beautiful bags.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was perfect for this sale. And I know that Tina, who is Team Egner on Instagram and also on Etsy, she's going to be having the ring blings and the floss cards.
Is that where the
Red
ring, is
Yeah,
that where
That's
this one
the-
came from?
No, that
No.
one that one came with a bag, but the
Okay.
ring blings.
It's a little Santa.
Yeah. The ring
Jennifer
blings.
always puts
Jen-
one on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jennifer does a great job with the bags.
Yeah.
But Tina's got them in her shop, and they're really cute. I posted them on Instagram the other day.
Don't
So-
take her. Don't take her color.
I'll insert a picture of Tina's stuff.
Yeah.
We kind of put a little bird in her ear. See there, see what they did there.
Yeah.
A little bit good. Yeah. And anyway, so she's got real pretty floss drops if you're the kind that uses floss drops. And I love the fact that there's six, seven
there's only
colors.
about
There's
seven
not
colors in there,
many.
yeah.
So one whole set is going to do you, and then she did some of the actual bling. So I will insert a picture because ours should arrive, I'm thinking Monday.
And then I can put it all
that's why I
together.
didn't do anything with them yet. And then we'll put it all together and I'll post a picture. But if you are,
And we're
Use
using
what
2
tags?
hashtags, actually. We always use the hashtag just at Brick City Stitchers because a lot of our folks are actually not on Instagram. But we'll use Brick City Stitcher Sal, which we always use with any of them. And then we're using also Cardinal
Cardinal Kin.
Kin Sal, hashtag Cardinal Kin Sal. So that's what we'll be using. If you'd like to join along, please join along. Tag us.
you can tag Brick City Cross Stitch too.
Yes.
I mean, it is on Instagram. I
Yes.
use it just so you
I
can
use
see
it.
the things that come out of the
Right.
out of the shop. So, tag us,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody knows what ours are. But
It'll,
you're
it'll be fun to follow.
Yeah.
Because everybody's using. We showed it with 3 different colors of fabric, with the 2 different colors of colorway for the floss. There's going to be so many different
And
combinations.
that's what I love to
Right.
see. I
Yeah.
love to see what people choose for fabric, to see the differences. Difference
Right.
in size, difference in
Yeah,
colors.
because you chose water lily.
Yes, water lily.
Which is
I like
a little
that-
too green for me.
Yeah, and
so.
I like it because the hue of the green, for
Mhm.
like, I love it with black. When you
Yeah.
end up putting a black frame or whatever you do, but yeah, her and I have a big thing for
Water
water
lily.
lily.
Yeah.
I know.
It's too green for him.
It is.
Yeah.
But your green is your favorite color.
It is.
You told the whole world that.
I do.
It's just not the right
Agree.
hue of green.
I-
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a dirty green. Too,
I just like brown.
just,
He just
Fabric.
likes brown.
that's what I love about it. It's just
A tan,
Yeah.
beige,
neutrals,
pebble,
Mushroom.
stone,
dirt.
raw. I like that color
Okay, he's gonna
Yeah.
go through
for
the
my
whole hue.
for my fabrics. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the sale,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I'll insert a picture so you can actually see what the bling is, and I'll put the link for her Etsy shop.
Yep.
And the rest of the day, we're going
We're
to
gonna celebrate.
We're going to celebrate.
Got a
and we're
party
gonna
at 1.
have treats
Yeah, we have a
and
party at 1.
1.
Uh-oh.
And
Jean's
here
gonna
she
come say
comes.
goodbye.
I just want to say thank you to Chrissy
You're very
for,
welcome.
and Linda and Peter for thinking up this idea of doing a little tour of the shop.
I didn't think of the idea.
Whoever wants to take
I
credit
was
for
just
it, you
drunk.
can.
Drunk along.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I like to call Chrissy our in-house Flosstuber, and a lot of people come in and say they watch her on Flosstube. So keep it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jean.
All right, so happy 25th anniversary, Miss Jean and Brick City Cross Stitch, and you mean the world to us. So we will catch you next Flosstube, but we're gonna go party.
Yeah, party.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.